So yeah, live on Facebook in the Self Belief Project. I'm Alison, if you don't know me already. You possibly do. And this is Suzanne Wright. Suzanne is a nutrition coach and homeopath, and she's going to be talking to us today about food and mood. Yeah, I think food does affect our mood, doesn't it? I know some food makes you feel more energized, and some food makes you feel a bit more sluggish, but then some really nice foods can lift you up, can't they, and make you kind of zing, and then you get a slump. And I think those are the foods with sugar in. I didn't used to eat much sugar until I had my daughter Lila, and when I was pregnant with her I was getting all these sugar cravings. My partner also likes sugar as well. He likes eating a lot of pastries and stuff. But yeah, since then I've had a bit of a sweet tooth. So yeah, it's an ongoing battle in our house, I think. So yeah, Suzanne's gonna tell us a little bit more about how food can affect our mood today. So do you want to introduce yourself? Oh, first, before you do that, can I just ask people to, if you're watching, click like and hearts, and if you're watching on replay, to put hashtag replay as well. So sorry, Suzanne, please introduce yourself.
Hi, Alison. As Alison said, I'm Suzanne Wright. I'm a nutrition coach, and I have an absolute passion for helping people who want to lose weight and get more energy. And one of the main ways of doing this is by choosing foods that keep your blood sugar steady. And that is a huge factor in mood. I know we think of food and mood as in like we eat comfort food that makes us happy, but actually our mood overall for the day can be really impacted by that up and down of the sugar spike that our blood sugar goes through throughout the day. So choosing just slightly different foods can make a huge difference. And we all know what it's like to have that hungry feeling, you know, like the Snickers ad, you know, when you've got so hungry that you have to eat now, or you're going to be angry and bite everyone's head off. But that's not just hunger. When you feel like that, that's not actually hunger. That's your sugars crashed to the point where you're desperate for food. Normal hunger shouldn't really make you feel that way.
Oh right, I didn't know that. I thought that was
Yeah,
like, oh, okay, so it's actually your blood sugar's crashing.
yeah. If you're getting to that point, that usually happens if you've eaten something that's giving you a sugar spike, and your
Yeah.
body kicks in loads of insulin to try and protect you from that sugar spike. And because it's gone so high, it overloads you with insulin. It takes that sugar just slightly too low for a little while. And because the insulin's in your system, your body can't release its own. You do have stores of sugar in your body. You have your liver's full of glycogen stores, and you've got fat that's instantly available to energy as well. But if you've got insulin in your system still, you can't release that. So you end up with that, I must eat. The only way to get sugar right now is to eat. So it's not a very nice feeling.
No, it's not. And you do, well, I do get hangry, definitely. Not very often, I don't really let myself, but I do.
So what do you do if you feel like that? What would you go for?
um, I don't really snack. Like, I don't have snacks in the house. I have fruit. If I do snack, it'll be some pita bread and some hummus. But like, or some celery or something. I've tried to kind of, yeah, I'm not a really snacky person. But my partner, Rich, he's always got biscuits in the cupboard and things like that. So he will snack on that kind of stuff. But he never gets hangry because he never lets himself get hungry. So,
Okay. I mean, we all do differ as well. You know, some of us are a bit more prone to that feeling as well, just depending on how sensitive our insulin system is.
yeah.
You know, and it tends to be the people that have that really quick reaction to the foods that have that dip afterwards. You know, some people just seem to have a natural ability to be a little bit steadier with it, really. But hummus is a great thing if you've got that feeling and you've got like that. Hummus is high in protein, high in fat, but there's hardly any sugar in there, so it's not going to give you that blood sugar spike. So it's a really great choice, actually, if you're feeling that way. It'll keep you steady until your body can then kick back its normal mechanisms back in again to keep you steady again.
Yeah, that's good because I'm always eating the hummus. I make it myself most of the time. So yeah, yeah. I don't know if anyone's got any questions today. I don't know if anyone's watching at the moment. Actually, I've got my phone going, but can't see. But we will keep going. What I was going to ask you today, oh actually I was going to ask you about children. Do you think that happens a lot with children, feeling hangry?
I think it does actually. I think I noticed it when my kids were little, and also with like nieces and nephews. If they have a breakfast cereal type breakfast, which are actually quite not great for your blood sugar, and that's the only breakfast they have, you'll tend to find behaviour deteriorates an hour or two later, and you find yourself, when you're giving them food out because you think it's the only thing right now that's going to calm them down, and you're reaching for the breadsticks and the things that you think are good little snacks to keep them going. But actually, I found with my own kids that if you give them slightly more substantial breakfast, not necessarily more volume, but maybe like half a bagel with some cream cheese on or plenty of butter, that gives your body a bit more variety of different fuels in there. So you won't have that spikiness going on, because breakfast food on its own is mostly carbohydrate and often quite easily available because it's very highly processed. So that's one sort of trigger for a whole day worth of roller coasters.
So most breakfast cereals, like kind of the ones that are targeted at children, like Rice Krispies and Shreddies and that kind of thing.
Yeah, they are actually. They are even the ones that you think of as being, fairly plain ones. So cornflakes, terrible for blood sugar spikes. You really do want if you're going to have cereal, it should be a whole grain one like Weetabix really, and preferably add something creamy to it. So maybe have it with a bit of avocado, or even full fat milk makes a big difference rather than semi-skimmed.
Yeah. And what about for the people that are dairy dodgers?
You can have a bit of soy yogurt on it, that kind of thing, or if you're having like toasty type breakfast, I kind of like peanut butter on them, almond butter. They're quite a good way of getting a bit of fat in there. I know people talk about low fat diets, but actually modern science is suggesting that isn't actually very healthy for us, and that we do need more fat than we're eating. A lot of people don't eat enough fat. So I'm always about adding maybe just a tablespoon of fat to every meal, whether that's in the form of peanut butter or an avocado or something with some good fat in there, and that will really help to balance out the blood sugar roller coaster.
This is something I love about you. You're kind of like saying that I can eat all the things that I really like.
Do you know what? I saw something today on the news. The Queen has a stash of her own chocolates that she keeps with her all the time.
Really?
Because she doesn't want anyone else to kind of eat them all up and not have anything with her. And I wholeheartedly approve of that, because chocolate actually has not too bad an effect on your blood sugar. It's not a health food. It's not going to have all the vitamins and minerals that you need, but you compare that to a slice of bread. Much rather have chocolate as a snack, because it does actually keep your blood sugar steadier. It's got enough fat in it to keep it steady.
So milk chocolate and dark chocolate, or is it...
Either dark chocolate is slightly better, but milk chocolate also is fine.
Yeah, okay. And so I'm kind of thinking, Lila's got this habit. She's had it for, I say it's a habit, but she like went to a friend's house and her friend offered her a peanut butter sandwich. So now every morning she has a peanut butter sandwich. We have brown bread, but are there like any alternatives to that? You said bagels.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things you can have, things you put in the toaster kind of things. And I would actually say toasting is a good thing to do. If you're going to have bread in any form, whether it's a bagel or a slice of bread, toasting it makes a big difference. It actually changes the way that your body absorbs the sugar from the carbohydrate, and it will make it better for you. And freezing it first has a similar effect as well. So the best thing to do is to have kind of like a whole grain bread, preferably, plenty of seeds and stuff type things in it. So a whole grain with all the wheat husks. Freeze it, and then when you need it, you toast it, and then you have it as bread. Ooh, and that makes a big difference.
Brilliant. That's actually what we do. Great stuff.
Perfect. You're doing it. You're doing it.
So how can food affect mood? Like, how does it affect our mood? It's the sugar in it.
So there's a lot of different ways. I mean, blood sugar is my passion, so that's what I talk about a lot. But there are other ways in which mood can be affected by food. We have, I don't know if you know this, but serotonin, which is the hormone that makes us happy, is actually mostly produced in your gut. So we think of it as a brain hormone because it affects our brain, but the production of it happens in our gut. Okay. So if you haven't got a healthy gut, so you haven't got the right bacteria and things in your gut, it's going to be harder for you to get the happy hormones released. So eating plenty of fibre, just as part of your everyday life. I think of it a bit like brushing your hair. If you never brushed your hair, it would be all matted and clumpy, wouldn't it? And you wouldn't have the healthy looking hair. I'm not saying your gut bacteria is like hair, but if you never have fibre going through it, it's going to end up in a bit of a bad state. And so you need to keep that healthy if you're going to have enough of the right environment for serotonin to be made, and that will really affect your mood.
Yeah, I think I saw a TV show about that recently, talking about probiotics and things. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can get a lot of that from our food, but one thing is to watch out for if you've had antibiotics for any reason. That's when you're clearing out a lot of good stuff from your gut, and the space that leaves behind, you need to refill with good stuff. So that's when to take your probiotics. You need to be careful to eat plenty of fresh fruit and veg at that time, so that you repopulate that with the good stuff, rather than creating space and just letting all the sugar hungry stuff take its place.
So when you're unwell, eat the veg and the fruit and that kind of stuff. It's hard, isn't it, though? Because when you feel unwell, you just like really can't be bothered to do anything, and it's so easy to. I think when we had COVID, we went through about 4 packets of digestive biscuit.
Yeah, I mean, we're all, all guilty of that, but I think ask for help if you're not feeling well. The whole thing about people bringing chicken soup round when you're poorly, that's something centuries old, but actually a good chicken stock with some vegetables in it is actually quite good.
Yeah.
For, keeping you healthy when you're poorly.
Yeah, cool. So what foods make you zing then? What foods make you feel good?
Okay, so you're looking for foods that won't give you that high in the first place. So although you might think, I don't know, what's a high sugary food? A bag of Haribo, for example. You think, oh, that's sweet, that'll give me a zing. But that zing will last such a short amount of time and you'll crash straight afterwards. So it's not going to give you sustainable zing. Whereas if you choose foods with a lower glycemic index is the kind of measure as to how fast your blood sugar spikes, you're going to have energy because your body can create as much blood sugar as it likes from that energy, but it won't be all in one go. So it will be steady. So I'm a big fan of baked beans, for example. Baked beans actually have a very easy to grab thing when you're not feeling well as well. It's something you've always got in the cupboard and can bung on some toast. But actually that's going to be high in protein and low in blood sugar spikes is a good one. Quite a lot of fruit, berries, cherries are really good. They're sweet and they feel like you're having a treat, but actually they won't spike your blood sugar too much. They keep it quite nice and steady. So you can have the sweetness and the good feeling from eating the sugary food, and you get the right kind of energy from it as well.
And how about bananas? Like they're always the go-to energy boosts in our house, I think.
Yeah, bananas are fine. Bananas are what we think of as a median glycemic index food. So they're not going to give you the massive spike, but equally they're not a low glycemic index food. So they're absolutely fine. I wouldn't say use it as your main source of snack because you need to have a variety, but there's plenty of fibre in them and you get potassium as well, which you really need for your overall health. So yeah, bananas are fine as part of a healthy diet.
Yeah. I think most people think, of stuff to fill them up as well as to kind of make them zing. So yeah, what kind of foods are okay to kind of fill you up that aren't, well, in our house it's probably the go-to is bread.
So yeah, bread's a funny one. Bread can make you feel full when you're not really, because it bloats for some people, just the way it reacts in your gut, but actually it's mostly carbohydrates in bread. So although if you prepare it, as I said before, you have whole grain bread that you've frozen and toasted, it's not going to have a huge effect on your blood sugar. What you have if you eat that mostly is you're not going to encourage your body to convert fat into sugar. So what you're better off doing is having a balance of some fatty foods with every meal and some protein-rich foods quite regularly too, so that your body gets used to having to convert that fat into sugar. You have enzymes that can do that. Everyone has the ability to produce enzymes to convert fat into sugar, and that actually will fill you up for much longer. If you have quite a small portion of fatty food, that will keep you quite full. If you think of, how heavy is a slice of bread, 50 grams or something. If you have a slice of bread, that's not going to last you very long. If you have 50 grams of cheese, wow, that would keep you full, wouldn't it? That's a lot of cheese.
Okay, is that a go for cheese then?
I do like a bit of cheese. Yeah, I mean, some people are, allergic to dairy or don't want to eat it for ethical reasons, but as a source of energy, cheese is fine. Cheese is good.
I like it. And so what kind of foods make you slump?
Okay, so anything that's going to give you that massive spike to start with. So breakfast cereals are a bit of a sin food, I have to say. Cereal bars also, oh my goodness me, that used to be something that we'd take hiking when I was younger. That would be always something you think was a healthy energy boosting snack, but knowing what I now know, that's not something I would actually choose to take with me. And it surprises me actually, my kids' school, they encourage us to send a healthy snack in with our children for our morning break, and they ask for things like cereal bars, and I think, how many of those children must have a cereal bar in their break and then an hour later be utterly badly behaved because their sugar crashes afterwards? It's not great for your mind, and not great for your learning if you're having that slump just after your break.
I guess if people don't know, a cereal bar sounds healthy, doesn't it? And cereal people view as being quite healthy. I mean, I know people know that some of them have got more sugar in, but it's like the healthy ones, like the healthier ones, there you go, like cornflakes and bran flakes. They're not actually. Yeah.
No, absolutely not. If you take a cornflake is so heavily processed. By the time it gets to your stomach, it's pretty much instant energy. It really is. So yeah, and I have to say raisins as well. I was surprised about raisins. I always thought raisins were quite a healthy little snack for my kids to have, but when I looked up the glycemic index of that, they're the same as jelly beans. You're literally having what is basically a tablespoon of jelly beans when you have a pot of raisins. So have a cereal bar with raisins in is just going to make you have that spike and crash, the roller coaster effect.
Yeah, I've recently changed my muesli because that had loads of since listening to you, loads of raisins in, and yeah, I've noticed the difference, definitely.
Have you? Why do you feel different?
Just just better energy, and not having that slump before around 11 o'clock-ish, or whenever it was, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I definitely noticed the difference.
It's great when you can feel the difference. I know someone I've been working with recently has changed his diet in this kind of way. And he's a cyclist, and he went cycling yesterday. He told me his personal best record has all been broken. He'd been following the diet for a few days, but actually he's got so much more energy that his usual cycling route with all the hills he goes on, every part of that was a slightly faster, slightly more, performance ride. So it does work. You actually have more energy when you eat better this way.
And when you have more energy, you're up for doing more things, you feel a little bit more motivated, and that can really boost like your self-belief because you get to do more things and feel satisfied and feel fulfilled. So yeah, it's great to have that energy and find the balance in your diet, I think. Yeah. Have you got any really delicious recipes that are easy and tasty as well?
Okay, are you wanting like
a
meal or a snack?
Yeah, something to give to the kids, like a snack or something.
To give to the kids, okay, it's a snack. So my favourite, which we do in our house, my kids are not old enough to make it for me, which is even better. They're little chocolate nutty bites. They feel like you're eating a box of chocolates, basically. I take a bar of dark chocolate and I weigh out the same amount of nuts as I've got chocolate. Say it's a 100-gram bar of chocolate. I'll have 100 grams of like Brazil nuts, hazelnuts, pecan nuts, almonds, a good mix of healthy nuts because they've all got different minerals in. And having a variety is really, really good. I grind them in a little food chopper thing, melt the chocolate, stir the nuts in, and I pop them into like ice cube trays, at little silicone ice cube tray things. When they're done an hour later, you pop them out, and they're just like little chocolate bites, but they're so good for energy with all that protein and fat from the nut. Dark chocolates, again, great as a mood booster. So I like those very much for boosting the mood and giving you energy.
Did you say put them in the freezer?
Just put them in the fridge to make them set quickly, but even put them on the worktop for a few hours, they will set. Just if you're impatient to eat them, the fridge speeds it up a bit.
Nice, like a non-guilty snack. Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. They feel so indulgent as well, which I think makes everyone feel good.
Yeah.
Guilt-free indulgence.
Oh well, that's brilliant. Like I love some good snack ideas that are healthy. I don't know if anyone's watching. If anyone's got any questions, but if not, for now, if you just pop them in the comment section, I'm sure either myself or Suzanne will get back to you and answer some questions.
Absolutely, I'll be hanging around in the group for 24 hours after this, definitely, just to make sure that anyone's got any questions, I'll be popping on to reply.
Brilliant. And you've got your own group, haven't you? And you talk about all this stuff all the time, and it's a great group. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
So thank you. Yeah, it's called the Blood Sugar Roundabouts. It's a free Facebook group. Anyone's welcome. We talk about all things like, if you're in a supermarket and you're really hungry, or you're in a petrol station, you want a snack, what is the best thing to go for, that kind of thing. It's a really interactive, fun little group. So if you want to come over and learn a bit more, do.
Great, yeah, she's full of knowledge, Suzanne, so head on over there and yeah, learn some more about the science behind food. It's great stuff. And if you could just pop your link in below into the comments afterwards, that would be great. So thank you so much for joining us today. Yeah, you'll be in the group anyway, aren't you? Because you're a member of the Self Belief Project, so you'll be around. Yeah, so thank you very much, Suzanne.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Now I've got to try and turn this off. One day I'll find the button straight away. See you later, everyone.